going to see the
I'm
lightning
looking forward
gun.
to this one.
Yeah. This is the hit scan map, and these are the hit scan players.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. Not in Challengers.
True, let's start on the
Round begins in
Toxic.
3, 2.
Yeah, I think the legend deserves us to start on him, and the dog starts on the heavy. Enesy on Mega, they pick up their items immediately. Tox goes for the rocket launcher. Good rocket from Tox, doing a little bit of damage. Keeping Enesy at arm's length as well.
Yeah, a great decision to not step into his lightning gun. Now they're having a little bit of a standoff. Enesy is making the first sound though, and yeah, he's guarding the lightning gun with his life.
Yeah, considering the opponent, I'll say it's a good move. Good rockets from Tox, but better LG from Enesy. But control stays shared. Tox still has the flame strike, using the jump pad to trick Enesy.
Enesy isn't falling for it, so...
Great
Oh, what is... Wow. That did so much. Yeah, look at this, the press forward, but
Oh, the turret absolutely saves Enesy's ass.
Yeah, the momentum
Oh,
of Toxic just got stopped by Timmy the turret. Or is this Tobias?
Doesn't have any rockets. He has them now. Again, great tri-bolt. A little bit of a fight here on the center area above Mega. So Tox really in a tough position. Not really able to do much. He gets the double bubble and escapes.
Oh, Enesy missing the that rocket though. Yeah, I do think like Toxic really wanted to force the issue on the Mega Health, but wasn't able to do so. But on the other hand, Enesy wasn't also getting much out of it. Now Enesy is in the area though. Now he's on the hunt. And wow. Yeah, Toxic not having the LG for a mid-range fight. Enesy is victor in this one.
Oh no, and still can't get to it. But the Enesy, not in the range he wanted, and Tox deletes him with a machine gun.
Yeah, he was too early.
Yes, finally.
Yeah, Enesy timing the Mega Health a few seconds off. And Toxic gets his lightning gun and the tie-up frag.
Oh, absolutely ridiculous. So much damage.
And he has his flame strike. Nothing hits though. Oh, and Timmy the turret is doing so much damage onto Toxic while he was aiming for Enesy.
Oh, that rocket almost does it.
Toxic gets the heavy. It's a clean pickup, but he needed it to stack back up. So not really any of the players are favoring the better stack.
No, and none of the players really have position on the other, and as I say that, Enesy risks everything to go for the Mega. Doesn't benefit too much from it.
Oh, he just walks into that rocket. Oh, but this LG is so strong. Same goes for Toxic though, yeah, and he had the heavy to boot, so that was the lifeline in this fight. He still needs to recover a bit though, because the starting stack of Enesy is better than Toxic has to work with after that fight. Oh, nice
Another
rocket.
Fantastic rocket.
Yeah, he's doing so much damage without even being into Enesy's face. Enesy is just in a world of hurt for just walking around.
Tox goes for more LG ammo. Doesn't need it, but still goes for it.
Yeah, items spawn at the same time. Enesy is taking position onto the heavy. Oh, but he pays so much for it. Toxic decides to retreat though. So they trade items. And no change on the split. Oh, enesy is so weak though. Still not recovered from that last fight, and he falls from some great HMG.
Killing spree.
Ridiculous LG from Tox.
Ooh!
5
Oh,
Wow.
Tox manages to get the trade even though he's surprised.
Yeah, Tox wasn't really aware of the position of enesy, but still he makes it a trade. So 5 minutes in, Toxic still strong in the lead with 4 frags.
Yeah, enesy extremely low. The Mega's still a while to spawn. Yeah, and we knew it was a matter of time before the enesy would fall. Tox isn't using the LG all too much. Doesn't even have it at the moment, and great combo with a flame strike. That's another frag onto enesy.
Yeah, I wonder what is the damage difference between the two players, because it looks to me that Toxic is just putting out so much more damage than enesy. He was already doing that, but now he's also having a solid control onto this heavy, which is a great lifeline in the corrupted keep. Now he loses out on this though, so enesy might have an into the next frag.
Yeah, he needs to keep a hold of
But
his
he
stack
walks
though.
into so much rocket damage. The defensive damage from Toxic is just too much.
Oh no, Tox misses. But he covers the floor with fire, which means that enesy can't really push through without risking too much.
Yeah, and you see going for the heavy right away, so there is some time for Toxic to recover. Oh, but he will meet Tobias, the turret. No?
Tobias the turret, yes.
Oh, I thought he was at the jump pad, but he is in a position guarding the heavy. So Toxic out of control the last 2 rotations, but enesy isn't getting any frags out of it. And Tox is already...
Only now does he have a decent amount of stack. All of it's gone though with the fire.
Yeah.
On the great rocket placement, not to allow enesy to get anywhere near that bubble.
Yeah, it
Well,
was...
now LG versus machine gun. That's
was-
gonna go Tox's way every day.
It was either die from the fire or die while going to that health bubble.
Oh, and then that's like 40 nail damage right there.
Yeah, Tox losing out on the heavy, but he did enough before the fight. Or in the previous fight, so enesy does not get much out of it. And Toxic has both lights. And the next frag.
Oh, Tox not really knowing where to force the spawns. Good combo, but the enesy will survive. And gets all the weapons he could possibly ever want. But I don't think there's enough time for him to come back.
He just loses out on 60 health just for walking around on the corner. I think, yeah, Toxic is just using the starter machine gun on this map. You don't see that
He
often.
does have a lot of damage on the heavy machine gun as well. Yeah, you see a lot of players with the starting shotgun.
Denied. 1 minute warning. Handyman.
Yeah, 1 minute left for enesy to force the issue, but it's a steep hill to climb.
Come on, enesy to play until the end.
Or was it on the turret? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Yes.
Not quite the heavy damage game we were expecting. Nobody on 6k, but that was a lot of damage in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tox made it over 5k damage with that last encounter.
Yeah, great game.
Yeah, enesy just looked out of it after a while.
Yeah, it was especially like the damage in between the items. Like he was just walking into the open, and Toxic just released so much damage every time he was walking in the open. So a tough game to crack for enesy, but because usually it's the other way around. So. He was just playing his own game, but Toxic was better at it.
So, from news from around the tournament, FaZe beat Arseny in the lower bracket. So he will be playing the loser of Gram versus Pepco.
Yeah, good retaliation from FaZe now.
Yeah, as long as you keep yourself in the lower bracket, you have a chance.
Exactly. Because this tournament is a little bit different. The winner of the winner bracket final is automatically seed number 1 and will play the 10th spot of the QPL. And the winner of the lower bracket final will be
play number
spot
9.
number 2 and will play number 9. Exactly.
As it stands right now, I think it's CNZ and Garpy. Garpy's clock is ticking. I think he only plays twice.
Sparky's clock is ticking too.
Yeah. But Sparty, CNZ, and Cooler are on a bit of a tussle there. If someone gets a few good matchups, they can get out of it. Garpy really needs to start winning.
Yeah, but I gotta say this is all in the future. What's left for now is Awoken, Toxic, enesy, Slash, and Doomslayer.
Absolutely, and I'll let you two edit. So have fun, guys.
Thank you.
A lot. Yeah, I mean, enesy needs to bounce back, and being that he was so LG focused, Slash is harder to hit than the champions he played previously, especially if it's moved well. And Tox is known for moving well with the champion, so we'll see if his LG-based game will net him a win, or if it's... Yeah, if enesy gets moved to a different place. Oh, good opening there. If he can follow it up, Toxic is in a grim spot, but no, he can't hit any rail after the first one, and there we go. And just as I say it, he hits 2 back-to-back. So enesy was just toying with Tox.
Yeah.
Kappa.
Yeah, and also Toxic was a little bit stuck. He fell down, and yeah, did not have the right tools in that fight. So he just banked on doing, yeah, as much damage as possible before falling. It didn't get him anything. Oh, and now he takes a jump pad. Well, enesy's around, but enesy switches to the real mid lightning fight, and wow, 2 health left. But he has his double jump, so he can jump over that rocket barrage from Toxic, and the mega health is there to pick up. Wow, enesy 2 frags in the lead, 1 minute play, and he gets a full rotation. Also catches Toxic going for the rail. Yeah, you see enesy just didn't really move anyway during that lightning gun fight. He was just trying to get maximum accuracy and damage output. But now Toxic is on the board.
Maybe he can stabilize. And it sounds well. I mean, Doomslayer not sounding too healthy. Toxic was not as healthy, but he had resources. enesy, though, had the bigger resources as he slaps the armor onto his chest. Pulls off the helmet, fights with open windshields, and there you go. He gets his 4th frag. And this is the thing. The speed of Slash, how the layout of this map is not necessarily the biggest advantage if you move around well with the Doomslayer. But he, yeah, trapped himself down at the light armor there. And now it's Toxic with the complete arsenal, but enesy's lightning gun this time is impeccable. From down below, hits the Toxic behind cover as well. That definitely earned himself the heavy, and what an important pickup for him it was as well. Oh, he tried to use the speed against him. This was not cheese or cockiness. The pummel was actually because he thought Tox would just speed through, so he body blocks him and pummels him. This is a great deal to deal close range damage if you don't have a shotgun and don't want to risk self-damage.
And he gets it! Wow, Toxic.
What a magic.
Being at the back foot for like it seems the last 2 or 3 fights, he clutched it out. With only 33 health, he gets the heavy. Still needs to get some health bubbles. But he's closer to tying this one up. Next item is the heavy, and Toxic is getting into position. Ah, but no, he has the wrong weapon out. Enesy seals the deal with a clean frag. Look at the stack he's working with, and Toxic is playing a light. So, yeah, he does get the light shard at the lightning gun. But he has to do so much work for the next one.
Oh, this is such a harsh condition if you're a light champion. You need the item control. Okay, well, the item control is great, but if your opponent is hitting 50% lightning gun, I say, railgun, even if you're a heavy champion, having the item control is not a guarantee that you're not going to die. And enesy right now seems like he's hitting everything he missed on CK, basically. And this is on a Slash, so Slash is just in a very, very hard time, and he's also controlling the items very well. Toxic now tries to get the rail, which would be a huge lifeline for him, but he can't get it. enesy denies it and kills him once more in a lightning gun battle. This is insane from enesy right now.
Yeah, Toxic really being on the back foot. The first mission from him is, of course, get a light shard and a lightning gun. And you see, that is a great ingredient. Those are the ingredients to get on the board. But he lost out on 4 frags.
5
Or
minute
he
warning.
died 4 times. So he has to do a lot of work to get back in this one.
That rocket, though. If he does not land that, Toxic speeds through the teleport and probably impales enesy from behind with another rocket on T-Con. This was just, though, as it turns out, a delay of the inevitable, as Toxic still gets another frag. And this is insanely dangerous. He needed to land the rocket and kill Toxic with it for that play to work. But he also did so much damage.
Oh, wow.
That he stripped away the entire control from Toxic. But speaking of damage, Tox returns the favor. Despite picking the heavy, enesy is not really in the shape that he can just go wherever he pleases right now. He picks up some items. He still doesn't have a lightning gun, and this rail is clutch. He could even activate his ability right now and just go in, but he waits so long that Toxic actually almost kills him. But Toxic vacates the area, mistimes the item, and in the end it costs him, Rob.
Yeah, and enesy's rockets are paying dividends. He doesn't have his favorite hit-scan weapon. But he's still got the last 2 frags with the rocket launcher. Now Toxic is back in this one. But yeah, you see, Toxic needs to be able to, or needs to be in control to get those frags. So as long as he can keep control, he has an in to a comeback. Yeah, yeah. This is just the case of playing a light. If you don't have the heavy and you get railed, you're in a world of hurt. But now enesy, he almost dies. No, he clutches it out.
Yeah, I mean, you can play without the heavy armor, but you need to deal damage when your opponent picks it up. In this case, though, I mean, I was gonna say after CK, Enesy's rocket let him down big time. And just look what he's doing now with it. He's controlling Toxic's movement. He's getting frags with it. And he's like denying positions. Well, I kind of said that already, but my point is he's doing a good job with the rocket launcher. And this particularly helps him as well because he's not forced to fight on Toxic's turn because he is now the one who is, deciding how the fight is going to turn out. Because he uses more weapons with better effects. Not that he didn't use them before, but the effect wasn't that great. And just see how he plays right now. He hits so well with all the 3 major weapons. And yeah, and Toxic right now, it seems like, well, feels like there is no time at all and just rushes in kind of carelessly, it seems.
Yeah, I sometimes think about like how Toxic is playing a light. Like he just plus forwards into any fight. Maybe he just wants to get the statistics out that some lights need a buff.
Well, maybe Awoken is not the best pick for a slash.
Yeah,
Nyx is working
certainly
pretty well on this map, though.
Yeah,
But there is time. There is time. 90 seconds, 5 frags. It's doable.
but yeah, during the ban and pick phase, we said like, oh, this is a risky one, and Stork and Peeker was also up. I think like this is a great choice. Like in Toxic hands, we all want to see it. But if you look at this business-wise, like they are fighting for a spot in a pro league, and I do think he should have picked up the other crowd sliding champion.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes style and great games come from professionalism and, let's say, plain, I pick what is best as well, right? Or I do what's going to net me the win. Oh, what a rocket from enesy, though. I mean, right now it's just... We are just fiddling with the numbers on the scoreboard. The outcome of this map is done and dusted, so there's nothing that is going to change anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to see some great frags or stuff like this, but oh, enesy's lightning gun even on a slash. Look how crazy that is.
Yeah, but I do hope like Toxic right now sees this as an experiment or a failed experiment, but just can clear his head and get back on top for the next match. Or the next map, rather.
You win.
Ooh, what a map.
Yeah, heavily in favor
Fox
of
did have
Enesy.
his LG damage.
Yeah.
But I think enesy proved that the rockets are a very powerful weapon against Slash. They do need to be good though, because if you miss, you're open to damage.
Yeah, and I think especially the rockets, because there were so many moments where he stopped Toxic's momentum completely with it. Enesy's rockets were impeccable, and I think, despite not being the major damage contribution, they were one big reason why he won that particular match, as Toxic seems to restart his computer. Because he left the lobby.
Yeah, he also he said after the game like that he needs.
Oh yeah, okay. I was not seeing that.
Yeah, I'm probably restarting the game.
True.
I was on the bracket website already, because we have seen we have some news for you guys. I guess some of you predicted it that Hron would overcome Pepco, but it was in a 2-0 fashion. On the lower bracket side, we have not many known news, as the Portuguese ins is out. Overtime defeated him.
Damn.
Club defeated Evmatic, and you already know how FaZe played, but FaZe is going to face Pepco next.
Yeah, Pepco is a tough one.
Yeah, and overtime is flyover.
Yeah, for anyone who's not knowing it, it's fly over. It's an in-game name, so you always have that connection.
Thanks for the follow, UBCU and Just NPC.
Yeah, and now it's the decider. We'll see another... Yeah, we are going to see how well the Visor this time will spar up for enesy against the Solak. We have seen that the BJ was absolutely thrashing the Lizard last time enesy had to play against Solak. I'm not so sure if it's the same this time, because on Ruins, having a speedy movement mechanic is always such a nice asset. Imagine not losing any momentum when going from T-Con down to rail, through the teleporter, and back to heavy. And you not lose any speed. Any VQ3 champ will be like not even half of the distance when you are back at heavy.
Absolutely, and allied with the stack of Sorlag,
Yeah,
the great downfall, I think, is going to be that, well, you're a large target, and enesy has the piercing sight, so he's going to hit rails.
I mean, if he
You gotta be
hits on
careful not to
Slash,
open up the angles.
if he hits them on Slash, why would he miss them on Solak, right?
have fun, boys.
Exactly.
Thank you, Rob.
Cheers,
Yes.
Rob. Enjoy the game from out there.
So, I mean, enesy... Oh, they got the separated spawns, and enesy pops his vision right away, so he does not want to be part of any starting gamble. And I think that he got out of the... with the heavy out of this trade is actually a huge benefit for him. Picking up the shotgun, also a great asset against the Solak.
Oh,
Oopsie.
enesy
Yeah,
has every single weapon in the world.
I think both players
so
by
does
now have
Tox.
all the weapons, so... Now we're
Tox
just
is
waiting
missing
for
the
the fight.
shotgun, which can be important. Oh, decent rocket from enesy, pulling Tox away, but Tox will be getting his heavy, and enesy... Oh no! Enesy was on the acid. Yeah, Tox heard that, I'm sure. Still plenty of time until both items spawn, as they are jostling for position here at T-Con. Good entry damage from enesy, and enesy the one on the first frank.
And
88% LG from Tox.
yeah, and 70 for enesy, and enesy is spraying a lot as well, so the number is not accurate as well. But enesy, I think he lured Toxic into a trap right there, and I love to see how enesy prepared that. That was so great. Now he gets a bit cocky, and he can't reach the
Oh no! Unlucky.
movement. I mean, he was still dead, but he had so many weapons, he could have at least pierced an rail into Toxic before dying. And Toxic wisely decides to vacate the area. So a certain someone is not gonna thresh him with the rockets. Now, as we have a Mexican standoff, as nobody wants to go through the choke point for the heavy, Toxic grabs himself, yeah, by the nuts, goes through the door against rockets, and oh, and again, Toxic!
All of a sudden,
Didn't even have
Tox
to
in the
force the
lead.
spawn because enesy was just coming back like a boomerang.
Oh no, Tox missing the rail. That could have been a big deal. But enesy does not want to engage at the moment. So now enesy has got a little bit of control. Tox had the center ground, does decide to retreat to the LG. Yeah, now Tox should be able to hold on to this position and force enesy to have to take some damage. Both players missed the rails, and now both players trade rails. Yeah, Tox restacking back up.
Yeah, Toxic right now, I think he's doing the right decision. He should be a bit closer, but I still think he heard the pickup. And this bit right now, this is value because he will be dealing so much damage. He just needs to keep enesy in the spot, but he kind of, well, lets him off the hook. The asset is still ticking, but with the heavy, it's not really too bad. enesy is looking like twice the stack that Toxic has. Oh, and a good rocket to push him away from the item again, and now it's just one rail, and enesy with the wall hack enabled strips Tox of his life once more. And now we are tied, and I think if enesy plays his cards right, Toxic is in for a grim time. Just look at that rocket to rail combo. enesy is here to play, and Toxic can't connect the rails. He's sitting on 2 for 9 right now, Jones.
Yeah, not great. Luckily for him, he has 51% LG and a lot of damage on that one.
Stopwatch.
Look, enesy
great
hits
LG
LG
now
as well.
from enesy. Yeah, going for all-out LG fights when the stacks are the same is not doing Tox any favors.
I mean,
Tox
even if he
going
hits
into
more,
steal.
he needs to hit like... enesy hits a lot. He hits way above 42%. He just has 42% because he spams. But if Toxic goes in a head-to-head lightning gun battle with less stack, I think he had like a third less. He would need to hit like 60% or 70% lightning gun to win that fight. And this is not going to happen that he hits so much more than enesy because enesy has great aim himself. So Toxic needs to have another approach to this when he's out of control. This is a better approach. Even though he traded rails, he's the one having more armor left and picking up a light as well. Toxic stack looks impeccable, and his position is great for the mega health. He should net that in without any much danger. But enesy's lightning gun, hold that thought! He catches him with a back turn and completely annihilates the lizard. And again catches him off the spot, but no, he wants too much. And this time, enesy bit off more than he could chew. It was close though.
So now Tox setting himself up for this mega. enesy trying to deal damage from afar, but doesn't have the stack to do that just yet. Tox will be roaming around the middle of the map, trying to get some damage in. enesy will be having heavy control.
Oh, and the spit is being used without any effect. Rails traded favoring enesy here, but this one is definitely in Tox's favor because enesy can't afford to peek, and the piercing side now. Perfectly timed, and despite catching a rocket, enesy is still looking solidly stack-wise, and he catches Toxic again. 174 damage off the boot. Toxic can't afford to do anything right now. enesy is just having his number most of the time. There are a few plays where they go in Toxic favor. But as it was on CK, if you just watch the scoreboard, Toxic rockets are completely absent, and enesy's are not. And it's not because they are the biggest damage dealer, but they deal the chip damage or they prepare frags, they deny positions. And Toxic is denying nothing at the moment with the rocket launcher. And this gives enesy so much room to work with. Oh, look at this again! Such a great play, and enesy is widening the lead, and at this point, with the amount of control enesy is having, it's becoming a very tough job for Toxic to pull this out of the head, somehow.
Yeah, we might be looking at Tox getting relegated to the lower bracket early.
Stopwatch.
Uh-oh. Talk too soon, maybe? Oh, he can't hit any rails. The dodge of Visor is so overpowered in this situation. I mean, Visor having higher base acceleration, his dodge, when done well, is insanely crazy because of the high movement speed.
Oh no, Tox a little bit too slow getting to the heavy.
If he just waits and wastes more time, he will be railable. And there we go, a beautiful play from Toxic, wiggling around the walls and waiting for the acid to do just enough damage so he can pierce in the killing shot. And
Yeah,
now we have game on
four
our
frags in
hands.
2 minutes. It is doable. Yeah, Tox will be getting this mega. enesy will be start to play a little bit defensive now, I think.
Yeah, and as you can just take positions where Toxic will not ambush him and just had to push straight onto him. Like this, he's setting up at the heavy, and Toxic needs to go down these stairs or drop the
great,
bounce pad.
great
go
early
in.
damage with the LG.
Yeah, and that's it.
This should be another flag for enesy.
What a beautiful rail. And Toxic can't do shit against that. If you set up early, you need to go to a choke point at the heavy. As the
Yeah,
opposing
heavy
player.
on ruins might be the only item in the whole game that's in a great position.
Set up early for him. Oh, and there we go, the shotgun. No kill yet. But I think this is done and dusted, and enesy is literally shoving Tux down to the lower bracket with impeccable play. And I'm not saying this because of his great combat. I think enesy did such a good job rotating and maneuvering around this map against a faster opponent. This was very, very well played from him, and this is the shape we have seen him in the week where he won the weekly challenges, where he won as Totti twice in a row. This is the enesy that I think can spell danger for any one of the QPL players who is going to be in the relegation matches.
It's an excellent position, coupled with good control and good aim. Is definitely a recipe for success. And I still think the aim is irrelevant in this matchup.
No, but it's just kind of equal, and I think
Both
that
players' aim cancels itself out. And,
yeah, exactly. This is what I
enesy always on great control, very good positioning as well. When he had the bad positions, he retreated well.
Yeah, and I said it beforehand, before this tournament. Tox is one of the favorites, but he is by no means the biggest, like, get a guarantee spot for a relegation match. And you just saw why.